Hello everybody, good evening to you all. My name is Stacey Marsh and I am a demonstrator from the United Kingdom. Very happy hello to anyone who is watching this evening or on the replay. It is Monday the 8th of September and 8:30 in the evening and it's pitch black. So autumn is definitely on its way. Summer is coming to an end and I've had a little bit of time off. So for those of you that don't know, I work in education and I have two young children that are in education. So every summer I down tools and I don't really do a lot of crafting because I like to dedicate my summer to my children and not my craft room. And although I've missed it, and I have missed it, I've missed you all, it's lovely to just be present, be mum, just chill, make memories, go to the park, have late evenings, dinners in the garden, and not have to be tied to anything. So it's a summer of freedom and I am back ready to craft, and all things bright and summery and flowery are gone. We are in autumn and Christmas mode. So there's a lot of greens and golds on my craft desk. There's a lot of autumnal colours. I've re-inked all my autumnal themed ink pads and we're ready for the autumn. We're ready for the cool colours and the coziness of all the things that this time of year brings. So we had a brand new catalogue launch on the 3rd of September. It looks like this. I have sent all my catalogues out. They should be either with you or arriving any day now. The Royal Mail postal system have changed their second class mailing service. So I didn't realise that. And as I down tools over the summer, I realised that when I started sending my catalogues. So they're a bit later than normal. You can view it online. But if you don't have a paper copy on its way and you would like one, just let me know and I'll ping you one. I'll pop you one in the post. So new catalogue to play with, new online exclusive products to play with. It's all going on in September. Back to school, back to work, new catalogue, new products. Yeah, it's full on. And I'm also in a full on retreat mode. So I do a winter retreat every year and it's 2 nights in a hotel, 2 days of crafting, just fabulous crafty time together. So I'm in full on retreat prepping mode because that is in October. So it's all going on. So although I'm rested, I'm a little bit rusty with the creativity. So today's going to be fun. We went back to coffee and card today. So every 2 weeks, I run a coffee and card class in Sittingbourne, just up the road from me. Really nice, cute little barn, really festive, perfect for this time of year. So we returned to that this morning. And I'm going to share with you the cards that I made today. And hopefully that will spark my creativity. So I can see a few people are joining live. Hi, Mel. Hi, Karen. Hi, Carol. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Joanna. And hello, Nicola and Gillian. Good to have you with me, ladies. If you are watching live or on the replay, that's fine. Do just let me know how you are and where you are watching from tonight. So I will switch across to my craft desk and we will start creating. If you have any comments or questions at any point, just pop them in the chat. I'll try and keep up with you all. And we will see where the evening takes us. We'll probably be live about 45 minutes to an hour. And I have promised my daughter we can watch EastEnders at 9:30. So probably about 50 minutes with you all. And we'll just see where the creativity takes us. It will always be interesting because the first live after a summer off is always interesting. I forget how to stamp. I can't cut. I can't score. It's just all kinds of crazy. So wish me luck. So let's hop over to my desk. Can't remember how to work this technology. I've also been quite poorly, but that's a different story. So let's switch over to my desk. Here we go. Brand new, clean desk. Always a good sign. Hi, Deb. Watching from Wales tonight. What are you doing in Wales? That's a bit of a different area for you, my lovely. Okay. So today, brand new desk, new nails. It's all going on. These are the 2 cards that I shared at Coffee and Card today. Coffee and Card is always a nice way to start the week. It's always on a Monday morning and we craft, we chat, we talk silliness, we just have a fabulous time together. And I didn't want to start straight after summer into Christmas. So we went a bit autumnal and I designed these cards around the branching out bundle. So the branching out bundle looks like this. You have this stamp set. Oh, you can just see the lights. There we go. This stamp set, it is predominantly a branch, and we had a discussion today about what you call these, and I can't remember for the life of me what we ended up calling them, but I don't know. Leaves, spindles, flowers, I don't know. Anyway, we'll park that comment. And then there's lots of lovely sentiments in this stamp set. It does coordinate with a set of dies, so you can purchase it as a bundle, and they look like this. So you have some lovely layering shapes, like so. You have some of these fluffy things, and then you have this lovely edge die as well. So they are the branching out dies, and you will find these products on page 50 of the mini catalogue, and I can show you this catalogue now because it's now launched. So it talks you through here. You've got the 10 dies. The largest die is 12.4 centimetres by 8.9 centimetres. So they are a good size for using on a card. You can see it on this one. This die starts here and ends here. So it works really nicely for our cards here in the UK. They've given us a little bit of inspiration using some of the dies, the stamp set, and then making a little tag as well. And then I couldn't ignore this little fluffy squirrel. I absolutely love anything cutesy. So this is our cutesy autumnal stamp set that's in the catalogue as well. It coordinates with a punch. I'm just going to find it in this catalogue. Here we are. It is on page 49 of the catalogue, and it's given you, excuse me, some outline images, and then you've got some infill images, some add-on bits and pieces, a nice texture stamp, and then you've got May You Gather Happiness, Can't Wait to See You Again, and Go Nuts, It's Your Birthday. So there was also today lots of squirrel chat. I'll leave that there. So these are what I made for the coffee and card class set. And I'm not gonna talk you through these cards exactly. I'm gonna make a variation of it for you. Now, I love this time of year because the seasons are changing, the colours are changing. We move from brights to sort of more muted tones. And I like to use vanilla cardstock. It's a bit controversial, I know, but we don't just sell white cardstock, we sell Very Vanilla. And Very Vanilla is perfect for using with sort of autumnal colours. So I'm going to use a little bit of Very Vanilla tonight. So grab your Very Vanilla cardstock, gang. And I'm going to just do a little bit of simple stamping to show you just how lovely this bundle is. I'm trying to find some grid paper. Here we are. So 10 minutes before I went live, let's talk about it properly. 20 minutes before we went live, I was just dropping my friend's birthday present to her. She lives up the road. And then 10 minutes before I went live, I said to her, oh, can you empty the car? So everything is still in the bags that I took to coffee and card. Let's cut me a little card base, shall we? And then my mum messaged me and said, do you have my trimmer? Yes, I do, Mum. I have your trimmer. I'm going to use it right now. Look, Mum's trimmer. I'm going to use it because yours is nice and clean. Mine is a bit grubby. So I'm going to cut myself just a small piece of card. I'm going to do 13.9 by 9.5. So just a nice layer, nice clean layer of card. Look, here's my box of bits. Let's work through this, shall we? I'm going to use this one and this one. Branch. Okay. So in this stamp set, in the branching out stamp set, blade's not good though. I'll put a new blade in for you, Mum. There, that's a bargain. You have two branches. So you have this one here, which has quite a lot going on, and then this one here, which is a shorter branch. Now I have used on my cards from this morning the shorter branch. So you'll see it here, this short branch going there. It's just in the background. And then here I've used it to make it a bit bigger. So I'm going to just start stamping. I really like this time of year to use early espresso. So early espresso is our sort of really dark, rich brown colour. And I'm going to use that for my branch. Let's ink that up. Put one there. Nice, it's such a rich colour. And I'm going to do one. Let's do it here. I'm not going to get too much of it though. One here. Okay. So this is one of those cards and one of those designs that you have to, and I hate this saying, trust the process, because it builds gradually. I'm going to use Mossy Meadow for my stamping. You also have in here two trios. So this trio here and this trio here. So I popped them both on blocks already. Actually, I lied, they're still on blocks from Coffee and Card. And I'm just going to stamp it on my grid paper so you can get a feel for it. That one like so. And this one here. So you can see they're just ever so slightly different, and they are designed to go with different parts of this branch. So I'm going to start with this one, which is the wider set one. And this one is going to link onto these 3 points at the end of the branch. Like so. Now I really like that look, but I also like an extra fluffy look. So that is a single stamp. This here is an extra fluffy stamp. So I have inked up my stamp and stamped it to get that. And then I'm not going to re-ink this. I'm going to just change where it sits slightly and stamp it again. And that's going to make this just look a bit fuller. So I'm going to stamp it again once more, stamp it onto my grid paper, and then change the direction of it like that. So that's given me a really fluffy looking, is it pine needles? I guess it kind of would be pine needles, wouldn't it? Now let's do this one at the bottom. So one, just move it so I've got a little bit. When you go off the edge of the card, just be careful. So stamp it there. And then change it again. Stamp it there. There we go. And then next I'm going to go on to the smaller trio. So the smaller trio is going to sit here on this little branch. So I've inked up my stamp, stamping it once, moving it slightly, stamping it again. It makes lovely pretty patterns on the grid paper. And then over here on the bottom. Just think you get a really nice full look by doing like that. So look at that beautiful bushy looking branch. Now on here you've also got some extra little notches. In my box, and I need another block for this. Do I have a little mini block? I don't. So let's take these stamps off of here. You've got a single one as well. So I'm going to use that single one for some of these. And it's just filling out our tree nicely. So I'm going to put that on there. Over here, let's have one here. Like so. And then do one here. There we are. And then also in this set, you have a teeny tiny little pine cone. So this little pine cone, I'm going to stamp in Pecan Pie. Love this little pine cone. And I'm going to add the little pine cone onto the rest of the little fronds here. So this has gone from quite a naked looking branch to quite a full-on looking tree. Perfect for a squirrel. There we go. Now you also have in this set, there's a lot going on in this set. You have, oh dear, I can't get that apart. My squirrel is stuck to my block. Done it. You also have these little dots. Now these little dots, we had a lot of drama with these dots because my stamp is quite shallow. I'm going to try this. I'm going to stamp it ever so lightly so I don't pick up any ink in the rest of the stamp. I'm just stamping off, and then I'm just trying to build some texture. You see that I've picked up some. Just put this sort of in and around. Now, so that's just given me a little bit more texture in my background. And let me just raise that so you can see it in a bit more detail. So look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So you could have that upright like that. You can have it to the side. It's entirely up to you. Now, if you wanted to add a little bit more depth in your background to your, what you still don't know what you call it, in the fluffy bits, I'm just going to take a blending brush. I'm just going to go over that sort of area, and it's just going to make it look a bit darker, a bit more concentrated colour. There we go. That's made that just look a bit fuller. You can't really see it too much on screen, but trust me, it is there. So I really like that look. Let me know what you think in the comments. And then, do I use a bit of crumb cake with this? Do I use a bit of early espresso? I feel like that's too dark. I'm going to go crumb cake, I think. So Mum, let's bring in your trimmer again. Let's cut me a nice hard base. I'm going to score this at 10.5. I'm going to turn it round and cut it 14.9. So that's going to give me 2 card bases for my 2 cards tonight. A nice little press. So this here looks like so. I'm going to add another little layer underneath it. So this was 9.5 by 13.4. So that's a bit of a strange size actually. 9.5. It should be 13.9. So I need to take a little bit off. Let's trim it down to 9. I like my layers to be nice and even. So that's that one. Let's grab a bit of this. And go. So we've got 9.5. So let's take this up by 3. 1, 2, 3. So I've got 9. I think it's now 9, isn't it? 9. So let's do 9.3. By 13.7. Very precise today. So let me ask the question, is this one that you've added to your wish list? Is it one that you've not seen? Is it one that you don't like? pop your little answers in the comments. So this is actually going to go like that, isn't it? I actually quite like it like this though. Controversial. Let's stick it down and see what we think. Sticking my layers on straight. My ladies were very thrown today because the layers went on wonky. My ladies don't do wonky layers. Okay. So I've got that on there like so. Now the sentiment in this is just beautiful, and it says, wishing you a day filled with many happy moments. Beautiful sentiment. So I'm going to keep this really simple, this card. I'm going to stamp this just at the bottom. And this is my simple stamping card. I'm going to add a few little gems because gems just make everything better, don't they? And today I was using, here they are, the gems from the Pears suite. Let's just take a few of these. Just going to stick a couple of these sort of in and around. There we go. Look at that. That's such a pretty card. I'm really pleased with that. I'm just going to add me some layers inside. This was 13.7. And then a bit of white is 9. $13.4. And this stamp is, the sentiments in this branching out stamp are just lovely. There we go. You can, if you want to, do a little bit more stamping on that. I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. I'm just going to stamp some of these in the bottom because why not? Let's do a bit of this. Stamp off. Like that. And this branch, I'm going to try and get this branch in there now. Let's just stamp the branch first. So this branch is this end one, isn't it? Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad at all, gang. Do a little bit of in there. It just makes it look a bit fuller. There we go. So that's card number 1. So that is my little take on this one. That goes really nicely with that, doesn't it? We've just got a little bit more going on with these pine cones. And now let's do a little bit of die cutting, shall we? So I've got another crumb cake card base to play with. Let's put some of this out of the way. And let's do some stamping, shall we? So I am going to do a little bit of crumb cake. So let's do 10.5. Oh no, let's do 9.5. By 13.9. and I want to do some die cutting. And oh, there's my little die that I was looking for. So let's cut some of these. I'm going to cut these out of vanilla. Let's do a little bit of prep, shall we? I've got some vanilla card here. Let's have one of these as well. Let's do a bit of die cutting to keep us get us started, shall we? For this one. This lovely little strip as well. Do another one of these. Okay, and then lastly, I wish there was a branch in this set though, I'm not going to lie. Let's put one of these out. I wish there was a branch that I could die cut. There probably is one in another set, but I'm sticking to this at the moment. So this die, someone pointed out today, it's a bit similar to a die we had a little while ago, the Countryside Corners, I think it was called. And it is a little bit different. This one, you've got the kind of corners notched out of it and then some lovely stitching around the inside. Now they do layer, they layer really nicely. Let's grab one of these. So this is the next size down. Let's cut that out of vanilla. A bit of vanilla is just not big enough. Jill has put that she had this bundle in a basket and took it out to buy other sets. What other sets did you buy, Jill? Tell us about your spend, your order. Love to know what people order. There you go. So that layers just beautifully. Look at that. Really, really nice. Love it. Okay, so let's do a little bit of stamping. Now, I love to create backgrounds with things that aren't typically backgroundy. Let's just clean my stamp. I'm going to use this one here. And I want to create a little bit of an ombre effect. So onto my background, I'm going to ink up my stamp. And I want to create a background on this one here. And this takes a minute to do, so just take your time. I am not thinking about it at all. I'm just getting the ink onto my card base. And you can do this with any stamp. And I'm just repeatedly stamping over it so I get a texture look rather than the detail, like so. So I've got something that looks like that. So when I now put this on, I've got a lovely textured background look. And part of me thinks I might go all the way up. No, I'm going to leave that. And then I'm going to take me a blending brush. I'm just going to go over it slightly because this is just going to blur it a little bit. Blending brush needs cleaning. You know when they need cleaning because they get a bit cloggy. Okay, so we're not going to see that, and that's fine. Let's now put this on here. Really, really nice. I like that. Let's put this on some pads. This technique makes you look at your stamps very, very differently. Oh, here we go. The dog now wants to join us. That on there. And this is going to be my layer. I actually don't like that layer on top. Oh, come on then. I might save that layer for something else. I don't like it. But it's okay. Right, so let's take these little frondly things, and I want some Mossy Meadow ink. I'm going to add me some Mossy Meadow ink to these, and I love this look that you get with this. You get so much nice shading and colour. Look, it's just beautiful. Remember that they will dry lighter. I've got those two like that. Really pretty. I've also got this little thing. Now I don't really know what I'm going to do with that. We'll see. So I've got those two there. And then I've stuck this down. I probably shouldn't have stuck it down. So let's do some little speckles, shall we? So I'm going to do some speckles with an ink pad and a brush. Let's just use the blob. Let's add a little bit of pecan pie. Yeah. He's got bored. He's going outside now. I always keep a bottle of water on near my desk. Might actually need to be darker. And let's just create some speckles in the background. Nice. So I've done that with that. Now the early espresso. You can, if you want to, squidge your ink pads. And it should transfer some of the ink onto the lid, and it's not doing it this time. So let's just add a bit of the dark to here. Now some dark now. Perfect. Now that's what I want. Love it. Okay, so that's now really mucky, and that's going to go indoors in a while to clean up. And I've now got this really muddy looking effect here, but that's fine. It's what we want it to look like. Put the lid on my water. And let's stamp ourselves a sentiment. So the sentiments in this bundle are just beautiful. So the one I used on that first card was wishing you a day filled with many happy moments. I've got thinking of you brings joy to my heart. Hello, friend, happiest birthday wishes. from our family to yours, to a very special someone, and sent with love. Let's bring this in. I'm thinking I'm going to stick these across there. Actually, I'm going to bring them over a little bit. Use a glue dot to stick these down. One about there. And one about there. I've also got in here this little one. I'm going to cut a couple of those. I'm sticking again. I'm using vanilla cards to cut these out. If I'm using adding the colour with a blending brush, just makes the colour a little bit more subtle, and you get some nice texture as opposed to just using regular card. Now let's take this, and I'm going to use some early espresso. You can as well, if you want to, carefully tap it onto your ink pad. And this will give you sort of a more concentrated colour. Yeah, that's quite nice actually. Let's have another one of those. So Jill, what did you buy? Just have a look. What did you say? Jill said that she bought the Delicate Pines bundle. Oh, I do love that bundle. And the coordinating papers. Is that the one in the online exclusives? And they're sort of aquamarine-y sort of colours. If they are, that's a beautiful choice. Okay. So there's my little fronds. Look at that. Really pretty. So sentiment, which one did we decide to go for? We didn't decide, did we? Let's have. I do like Hello. No, not sent with lots of love. Let's have this one. And I've got a little bit of white card. Not white card, vanilla card that I can use with it. So let's pick that up. And this says, thinking of you brings joy to my heart. Show you that. Snowflakes. It does have snowflakes, yes. Yeah, it's pretty, that bundle. Oh, sweet is pretty. Okay, so I've got thinking of you. Okay, I'm liking this. Let's stick these down. I can use some of the glue that I've got there from those glue dots. Where's my linen thread? Here's linen thread. Linen thread is always my saviour, although, thinking out loud, this would also look special. But this is retired now, but I'm sorry, it's a firm favourite in my craft room. And I love this sort of checkerboard gingham look. Let's stick that up there. There we go. And then that on there like so. What do you think? Let me know if you are liking this one in the comments. Thinking of you brings joy to my heart. And then I just want to put on a couple of little sparklies because I feel like this needs some sparklies. And I'll have more of those. These are quite nice. Holographic resin dots. They might look nice. Gold ones. No, not gold. No. Got these little sequins. These are brand new, these ones here. These are traditional sparkling sequins. These go with the Christmas traditions. Mega sweet. Let's just see what these look like. Well, they look quite nice actually, but they're quite big. But in here, we have some little goldy sequins, and these are flat. They're glittery. I just think they're really nice. They are mega, mega sparkly. And I love a mega sparkle. Especially at this time of year. Let's add a little layer inside our card now. It looks like a bomb has gone off in my craft room. So let's do 5.9. Someone's in their garden. What about the gems that came with beautiful galleries? And now they would look lovely, Gillian. Don't know where they are though. Let's just stick this one in here. I am really, really behind because I was so poorly in August, at the end of August. I'm really behind with some of my filming of my videos. I've just not been able to physically speak for long periods of time. Kids have loved it. So I need to still do some filming, so they're probably in with all of that. Okay, so let's have a little recap. I think they were the right choice, those little sparkles. Put these away. Okay, so tonight I have made 2 cards with you all using the Branching Out stamp set and dies. This is part of the new mini catalogue that launched on the 3rd of September. And these are the 2 cards that I made. So this one here is just 3 layers of card, ink, stamp and paper. And that's it. I've created my branches using lots of different stamps and just finished with a very simple sentiment. We've got a little bit of detail on the inside as well. That detail would look really nice on the envelope as well. And then this one here, we've used more of the dies. I've used a very simple stamping technique in the background there. I've done some splattering in the background. We've got tone on this one. So you've got crumb cake car base, crumb cake layer, crumb cake ink here. And then I've used the dies to add in the detail. Finished with a nice sentiment, plain inner piece. So those are the 2 cards tonight, and they coordinate nicely with the 2 cards from Coffee and Card today. So that's it from me tonight. If anyone has any comments or questions, please do reach out to me. I do keep an eye on the chat. So if you are watching on the replay, still put your comments or questions in. All of the products that I've used tonight can be purchased from my online store. You can find that at staceymarsh.co.uk or use the link in the video. These products are available both between the online exclusive promotion and the September to December mini catalogue. If you did want a paper copy of the catalogue and you're in the UK, just drop me a message with your postal address and I will get one in the post to you before the end of the week. And that's it for me. I am back working my business now part-time alongside my day job. And I'll be live with you all again on Wednesday morning. That's Wednesday, the 10th of September. And it will be a craft along. So we will be making a 3D item or fun fold card. My job is to design that tomorrow. So tomorrow, if you come back, you will find all the details for the craft along. I will share all the measurements with you so you can craft along with me Wednesday morning. And then Wednesday afternoon, I will share it as a free tutorial download for you to use in your products at home. So I'll leave you all there, and I hope you have a good creative week, and I look forward to speaking to you all very soon. Bye for now, everyone.